Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast, is sponsored by fine Patreoners like Jorg.
This is Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast. Episode -081. Your Friend.
Your friend tell you that I called today? Did your friend tell you that I'm sad at losing you? Did he tell you that I shouldn't cry? Did he tell you that I had no pride? Your friend. Your friend.
What's that song all about?
Your Friend was released as the Night Riders B-side to It's Only the Dog. Dave Pritchard sings lead on the song that was originally done in 1964 by Mel Ryder and the Spirits. In the August 2019 liner notes for the CD re-release of Birthday Party, David Wells wrote,
The single was released by Polydor in November 1966. However, it sank like a stone. Its chances not helped by the fact that at a point when the established beat group sound was giving way to the nascent psychedelic movement, the Night Riders were still covering other people's songs.
People, let me tell you about my best friend.
Hi, I'm Eric Winsenson. Eric Paul Johnson. Eric Paul Johnson!
What? Oh, all right, the pre-ELO podcast. What are we doing? Are we doing Skeleton in the Roundabout or California Man?
No. We're doing the Night Riders.
Uh-huh.
Your friend. Eric Paul Johnson!
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Let's just get through this.
Guess what? We are going to be in agreement today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the song starts off, and I'm going, okay. Yeah, they were just affecting a style on It's Only the Dog. That was for the song. They were goofing around. Didn't work.
Yeah.
But they were goofing around.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a real song. Not them trying to do a novelty, but them just trying to do an actual psychedelic pop song that goes along with the times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this isn't bad. This still isn't... Wait a minute. How long is this damn thing? Aren't they supposed to be 2.5 minute songs?
And it's about 3 days long.
It just... Oh... You know how the Vanilla Fudge and Deep Purple would take songs? I'm talking about old Mark I Deep Purple, not the famous Deep Purple. You know how they would take other people's songs sometimes and just slow them down and stretch them out for 6 to 7 minutes?
Yeah.
However, you know how Vanilla Fudge and Deep Purple were actually talented at it, and sometimes made them interesting.
Set me free, what's up, babe? Get out my life, what's on your
Other than the Supremes, that's still my favorite version of You Keep Me Hanging On. So, back to this.
Actually, it's just a few minutes long. It just feels like it lasts for 20 years.
Yeah, it just plods along. I mean, originally I'm going, okay, yeah, it's not bad. But then after a while, okay. We're not, Oh, get over it already. Find somebody. Just go get. No, you're probably already on lewds if you're drunk if you're going this long. Go do something. Get therapy. Do something other than just moan and groan about some woman and her quote friend. Now I know why she left you. If you could sustain something else as long as you're whining, maybe she'd still be with you. My only caveat, at least you hear a little bit more of Jeff Lynne's guitar in this, and he's actually adding the whole psychedelic texture to it to give it its only interesting aspect. At least there we can talk about some Jeff Lynne because he's the only good thing about this whole song.
Well, yeah, the reason why that's the good part is it's Beatles. It reminded me of that sort of wah-wah-ish occasional guitar strum that goes on through Yes, It Is.
Please don't worry tonight.
And Yes, It Is a great song. It is a slow song, but it's not such a tuneless dirge like this is. It's just everybody's so dead asleep and they're not helping anybody by playing this. I mean, I'm fine with slow songs. It's not like After All is some big rockin' bouncy, gets the blood moving and makes you shake your rump to the funk. But After All was interesting to hear, even if it was very slow. It was still a fascinating thing to push into my ears. This is it's so boring. I mean, there were songs for the ELO podcast where after I heard them once or twice, it was like, I really don't want to hear this anymore. But I made it through the songs. I listened to the end of them. This one, the first time I heard it, it's like, I really don't want to finish this. It was like halfway through, and I could just tell, this is it. This is all it's going to do. And really, it's not doing much. So I really don't want to hear anymore. But I did, because I had to, because I have a podcast to do. It's such a droning, plodding, so boring. There's barely any kind of tune to this. It's just strumming on a guitar. Oh, I'm sad. And the original, done by Mal Ryder and the Spirits, that was no prize either.
Did your friend tell you that I'm sad and losing you? Did it tell you that I cried to the sky and to the watching crowd? Your friend.
I didn't like that. I mean, at least it was faster. It was still a slow song. It wasn't such a chore to listen to. Mildly interesting. I didn't like the guy's voice, for one thing on that. And I think just overall, the tune, the melody, what there is of it, it's nothing that makes me want to listen to it again. Or wanted to listen to it the first time.
The original, I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the guy's voice. I loved... It's 1964, and it's almost got that psychedelic garage sound to it. It sounds like it's about 2 years ahead of its time, to tell you the truth. It's really an interesting tune. Well, I won't say it's an interesting tune, but they do something with it.
Yes, which is what...
That one I wouldn't mind having in my collection, not just for money reasons. I don't know how much the thing's worth or anything like that.
Yeah.
Night Riders, it's Jeff Lynne, and it's probably worth a bit of money. Mal Ryder, it's this is a good lost tune that nobody heard over in the States. And it's, again, faster, better production, and a minute shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't crazy about the Mal one, but yeah, at least there was something in there that was interesting to hear, and it's probably that pre-psychedelic thing that makes it Much more interesting to listen to.
Yeah, some interesting production, some interesting guitar and rhythm in that song that actually makes it better than just the words.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's typical early 60s baby stuff. And that's why a lot of the Beatles stuff is really good from that time, is because, hey, it's not anything revolutionary lyrics wise, but music was good.
Yeah, it was.
It was heads above what a lot of other groups were doing. So that's was the important part. And that's the problem with the Night Riders is I don't know if they went on too long after this.
No.
It sounds like a band just this is our one last shot.
Got something to say about your friend? Then call the telephone line voicemail.
Great moments in Electric Light Orchestra history.
When I went professional, which was in 1966, when I was 18, it was a big thing. My mother was very wary of it. You know, she thought, well, she said, like, why don't you get a proper job? You know, this is no good. It's all that horrible business. And she was right. No. And my father was very keen on me to be a musician. And my mother was, but she was scared of it as well.
Well, hello there. This is Dr. Troy with the uncanny superpower to spot a snot mark on a Rembrandt. Okay, this week's selection, Your Friend by the Night Riders. I have to admit, I wasn't too impressed with this song. It sounds like maybe a generic B-side or album cut on some Mercy Beat album by those interchangeable British rock groups that came along in the wake of the Beatles and the Stones and the Kinks. But, however, Jeff's contribution to this record is something that I really like. The way he makes his guitar sound, kind of trying to figure a way to describe it. One of the YouTube comments said it sounded like a violin. Yeah, I can see that, but I think it's more like maybe the beginning of the zazang that the Erics talked about a lot during the ELO portion of the podcast. It's as if Jeff is already thinking beyond his current situation and thinking about maybe doing something more. And another thing about this song that I don't really like it, but it resonates with me, and I'm sure it resonates with a lot of people, and that is the lyrics. I mean, how many of you have been in that situation? She said he was just a friend. He said she was just a friend. But, well, enough from me. I'll let the words of the immortal Biz Markie sum it up.
You got what I need, but you say he just a friend, and you say he just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what
I need. Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast, is a production of Radio Trolla Entertainment Assorted Deli Meats Amalgamated. Leave a message on our voicemail at 623-850-3375 or email us at eloftmpodcast@gmail.com and we'll read and reply to it on the show. Join our YouTube page, the Electric Light Orchestra Podcast channel, to hear the full songs and other goodies. If you don't want to subscribe through Patreon, use PayPal with the podcast's email or send a check or money order to P.O. Box 1932, Superior, Arizona 85173. The subscription fee is $4 a month and include your email address so we can send you the secret link. Next week, episode -080, Night of Fear.
You got need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you